Yo,
It's your boy J Bizzle, Cap City J Bizzle was popping.
it's your boy Cell,
It's the Cap City Podcast was popping. We out here.
Ep.3.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go ahead and get right into it. Our main topic is, does the media promote lust? Right?
Yep.
So, it does?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I agree. The media does seem to promote a lot of lustful, intentions. What are the ramifications of that from your point of view?
A lot of the youth being programmed and acting in a certain way based on what they see and what they hear. You know, there's a lot of young kids growing up too fast because of what they hear,
Right.
and what they see. It's harder to filter things now. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, you know, just think about technology in itself. Back in the days, if you wanted to see some type of porn, there was magazine. You had to get your hand on the magazine.
And I did.
Me too.
Hashtag me too.
Right.
But now you have the internet, so you're just
Right.
click away.
You went from having to get a magazine to
Right.
getting a Zap cable box back in the days and watching porn on the cable box, whenever you got your hands on that.
Right.
And now, any child with a smartphone can post this, just pull up this
Anything.
website. I'm not going to say what the website is because we all know what it is, but I ain't going to say it.
I don't know which website you mean though. So now I don't.
Which one?
Well, you're talking about Pornhub. Is that what the site you're talking about?
Is that a shameless plug?
Hey, sponsor us.
Word. Nah.
I mean, look, it's the internet, so the kids can pull up, like you said, anything. Even if you're not. I remember one time we were in, I think we were like 6th, 7th grade, and somebody was on Yahoo, and they went to like the whitehouse.com, but it was a porn site. So like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like a straight up porno site, the whitehouse.com. And I don't know if that was before, people started buying web domains and stuff like that. But you were able to just look at porno from just a harmless search.
Right.
And that was back in, well, I won't reveal my age, but it wasn't in this time frame. It was the internet was just starting to kind of get mainstream.
Right. So it's like now, kids get all this access, and even the music that's getting put out now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was less direct back in the days,
Yeah, it was more artful.
Yeah, it was more artful, and nowadays it's just straight. I want you to suck my. I want to put my. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And
I wonder what you taste like. La la la. It's like,
right.
Hey, that beat hard though.
Right. Talking
mean,
about eating the booty, songs about eating booty and all kinds of shit.
Like groceries, fam.
You
Just
know what I'm
like
saying?
groceries.
Like it's like crazy direct now, and people our age, you know what I'm saying? They got kids, young kids, you know what I'm saying? Especially like the ones who had kids pretty young, you know what I'm saying? 18,
Right.
17, you know what I'm saying? So they kids are pretty much teenagers now, and their parents who are our age are listening to this, and now their kids are listening to it,
Right.
and they don't understand the effect that it has on their kids' minds.
Because we're not aware of the effects that it has or had on us.
Exactly.
Growing up. Even when you go back to before the internet was everything, just go back to a lot of these 90s sitcoms. There was a lot of, suggestive and sexual situations and comments that are promoted there every day on daytime TV.
Right.
And that had an effect as well.
Exactly. There's a lot of um, hurdles I had to get over based on what the things I've seen as a child, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying. And as an adult, I recognize it. You know what I'm saying. So I know at this point in time where everything is more graphic and more accessible,
Mm-hmm.
what that can do to the youth's mind. You know what I'm saying? Not only the youth's mind, an adult's mind who's not awake to the effect that it has on their mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because it doesn't matter what your age is, age, profession, race, gender, whatever your preference is, if you're introduced to something, it's going to affect you. You
Right.
know, if you're around a bunch of positive people, it's going to have an effect. If you're around people that are always saying the worst case possible, it's going to have an effect. So yeah, let's go in from that to R. Kelly, and really all of our topics are going to tie into what we're talking about. But there's a clip of your man Kells, and he's being interviewed by Oprah's homegirl Gayle King. And he was pretty irate during the interview.
Yeah, he was going crazy. Let's run that real quick. Hold on.
Didn't do this stuff. This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to let the camera keep rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
Well, that was quite explosive. What a debut from R. Kelly, behind bars. Y'all trying to kill me? It's been 30 years, and I haven't dated a woman that was past maybe 15, but I've had 2, so that's like 30. That's some strange math, R. Kelly.
Yo, all jokes aside though, man, I feel for him, because if he really dealing with this, I got some sympathy for him, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucked up. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, if these accusations are 100% real, then your man needs
fuck R. Kelly.
Your man needs some help.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact. You need help, but at the same time, you also need to kind of deal with the situation as it's coming to you. If you've been doing these things that they're saying, and it seems like you have. So
yeah, it's
been
going on for a long time.
You say he needs help, but my thing is, you also, in order to pull off something like that for,
I'm telling you, man, we got
3 decades.
We got to lock him in a room with a grandma.
you said this on episode 2.
You know what I'm saying? Put him in the room with a grandma. You know what I'm saying? Make her rape him a few times. You know what I'm saying?
Reverse rape psychology. I don't know if that's really gonna help.
Bro, it's gonna help him, man.
Okay, well,
she gonna be like, come on, baby.
But I don't want to.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, okay. My thing is this: he needs help, but he was getting help for 2 or 3 decades to pull this off. I would assume. Let me rephrase that. I would assume you would need help to perpetrate this type of a lifestyle.
That's not the kind of help that he needs.
No. It's not what I'm saying. He needs psychological help and to come to terms. I'm talking about the fact that he's not the only person who should be on the chopping block because some other people had to be involved in the getting, of these women, these girls, setting them up with stuff,
Right.
talking to the family, picking them up, taking them places, buying them stuff. He's not doing all of that himself. So, I mean,
So do you think this is another conspiracy on a black icon, or you think this is like?
it gets tricky because he's accused of doing some foul stuff, right?
Just like every other black icon.
So is Michael Jackson. So is
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. Now Bill Cosby's convicted.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby is convicted. He's in jail right now. But there was a report. One of the accusers claimed that they were told to embellish or paid to embellish in their book. I'm not sure if that translates to your testimony, but it seems like a lot of this. The reason why it gets confusing is if you're not telling because of financial gain, and then other people are also claiming things possibly for financial gain, you kind of like, what's really going on?
Right.
If you did it, then deal with the consequences. But if you helped him do it, what happens to you?
Ain't nobody else gonna take the rap but R. Kelly because he's the megastar.
Right. I
He's
agree.
the black icon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, if anybody else is involved in this, they probably gonna get away scot-free while this man... And that's probably why he was crying out like that. Like, people in his team is trying to... You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's true, and they was all down with it for
Right.
all these years, now it's like, okay... It's time to. It's time. You're done. You're not really feeding us like that no more. It's time to, let you go down. Because if you go down, we go down.
But isn't that the case? How he was coming across in that interview clip, right? Does that sound like a guy who was prepared to take the fall all by himself?
He does not want to take the fall. He don't want to take the fall at all, for one. And if it's not about him taking the fall by himself, because if he was the one doing it, you ain't got no choice but to take the fall by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even if other
Right.
people are aware of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Just like in a Surviving R. Kelly document. You got all these people that were saying, oh, this and this and this and this was happening. But nobody's looking at them like, okay, you knew this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my point. You're coming forward with so much information. You got folders, dossiers, catalogs, times, dates, clips, but where were you before?
So this is why I say there's some sympathy there from me on my side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you got everybody turning they back on you now.
Right.
That the shit is hitting the fan. You know what I'm saying? And, I can relate to that, in different types of cases, but not like touching a kid or anything like that.
No, I just let's make it clear. Just
Yeah.
generally,
Yeah.
when you
On
are
record.
facing whatever you're facing,
Right.
and the people that were down with you when the getting was good you can't reach them right now.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
it's just one of those things, man. It's like, damn, bro. I hope all this shit is not true, like you're saying it is. It isn't. But if it is, you're not gonna be able to run from it, man. Cause
Right.
no matter, everything that's done in the dark is gonna come to light at some point, man. You know what I'm saying? So, his best bet is, if it is true, to go ahead and face the music and seek that help. You know what I'm saying? Because You can deny the shit all you want, man. It's just gonna make shit worse.
So then let's talk about Michael Jackson for a little bit. Now that Leaving Neverland documentary is out. I didn't watch it myself.
Yeah, I watched it. I seen it.
Okay, good. I'm glad you did.
Your boy Wade Robson was looking like a straight up fiend in that joint.
Yeah, I've seen interviews with him, and he just looks like a douche.
Fucking glossy-eyed ass bitch.
Okay, listen. I don't want to hurl insults at these alleged victims, but I personally am having a really tough time viewing them as credible, simply because you both were testifying on his behalf, and then when you switched up years later, your cases were both thrown out individually. Then you get together and you're doing all this. It doesn't really match up. But here's my thing. We talked about that already in the last episode. When I also read headlines that as a result of the Leaving Neverland documentary, that some radio stations are dropping Michael Jackson's music from being played. There's radio stations in Canada and New Zealand that have removed MJ from their playlist
Wow.
as a result of the documentary.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yep.
Who the fuck removes MJ from their playlist?
I'll tell you who does that. There's a NZME. I guess that's some New Zealand, whatever. But yeah, I guess all it takes is a documentary to come out. But there were allegations before. There were cases before. They were thrown out. Every time somebody who's famous and has money or iconic and wealthy has a case thrown out or dismissed or settled, people assume that a lot of times that they paid somebody off, hush money. I don't know that that's true or not true, but the cases against Michael Jackson were thrown out, right?
Right.
He's never been convicted of any of these things, and that kind of makes me feel like there could be a conspiracy of some sort.
Back to the last episode.
Right.
Is there a conspiracy against black icons? But that, kind of brings me back to the R. Kelly, like, shit. I mean, is all this stuff that they're saying is going on, is that shit true? You know what I mean?
That's the question. If it's true, I have no problem going, okay, I don't have to rock with any of your music.
I'm going to listen to the tunes. I don't care.
Okay. And you know what? I personally, I don't judge anybody. If I'm around somebody and they're playing whatever, if they're watching the Cosby Show season 1, I don't go, hey man, let's go. That's your personal choice. You know?
You don't need nobody to love me.
Right. You're gonna cut that out.
Oh, sorry,
But I'm saying though, let's also, once again, does the media promote lust? Because when we talk about R. Kelly, and we're gonna move on from this, we don't want to harp on for too long, but to tie it back in, a lot of his music was music about sex, sexual interactions.
Yep.
You know? So when you're accused of, these gross acts, I could see why somebody would maybe think twice about playing that music. You know what I mean? And same with Michael Jackson. All kids that I've ever known growing up, coming up, they go through their Michael Jackson phase.
Mm-hmm.
The first vinyl I ever played when I was 5 years old by myself.
So that kind of makes me think about this. Is there a certain demonic energy that actually comes from these artists?
Wow.
That entices people into doing or feeling a certain way outside of, well, I guess it's through the music through the art form.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hypnotic rhythm, if you will.
Like,
Yeah, the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he refers to, it as a hypnotic rhythm.
That's crazy. Because you're right, mad kids love Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And he loves the kids.
Well, apparently he might love the kids a little bit too much. A little far too damn much. But at the same time, I think he's a different, I don't know. Like, that's a hard case to call because when you think about this, I wish I said this earlier to make this more of like, ooh, podcast from the jump. Last year alone, Michael Jackson's estate made $2 billion. So when people say, what's all this conspiracy theory stuff? If he's a creep, he's a creep. Okay, yeah, if he's a creep, he's a creep. But if you're telling me that his estate, he's passed, he is dead, but his estate still made $2 billion in one calendar year.
That's crazy.
Let's even just say if his earnings, if the estate is just worth $2 billion and that was it. Either way, that's tons of money on the table. So if you can convince a jury of your peers, then you might end up with $100 million or whatever. I mean, it just doesn't seem right. Now let's talk about another. Actually, this is a media personality. Actually, Wendy Williams makes her return to her show. I don't watch the show, but I know she returned. When she made her return, she discussed some of her own personal business. One of the things she talked about was her past addiction problems with cocaine. Did you know that she had a drug problem?
I didn't know that directly, but just looking at her face, I would have thought,
You must be seeking drugs to look at that face.
She kind of got like a crack, smoking, coke head kind of mouth. So,
oh my God. See, it's comments like that have driven her into the streets, the inner city, seeking crack cocaine. Smoke this face right off myself. Richard Pryor style.
All right, so look. So, back to the main topic. Her husband, right?
Yeah.
She was out of the show for a while because she had her husband had an affair, right?
Right.
She left the show, and actually her husband, right, was a video director, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Hunter.
Music video director, right?
Right.
Is it possible that him being around the music scene for so long, doing music videos for hip-hop artists, where a lot of sex was implemented in these videos, a lot of stallion booty and half-naked women, do you think that had do you think that some of that is responsible for him cheating?
Yeah. I would say so. I mean, I would be a cheater if, given the circumstance. Not that I would cheat, not that I promote that I will cheat on every girl I'm with. Mm-hmm. I'm saying a certain lifestyle, you might be used to all these women, I'm able to access and deal with, and maybe it's a wandering eye.
He's listening to the songs over and over and over of the music videos that he's shooting. And most of those songs are pumps in the bumps. Pumps. No, he didn't do that video, right?
No, I don't think he did.
Nah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean,
all the videos that a lot of the videos that he directed were very sexual songs.
right.
So obviously that has something to do with his thought process or programming into his mind. And it's not an excuse, for him, because as an adult, obviously you should be aware of these things, just like we were saying earlier, and focus. Not saying that you won't ever fall, because it takes falling for you to grow.
Right.
You know, um,
You got to
but
fail to succeed.
you have to fail to succeed, right? But we're just talking about in general if it's actually affecting people's minds, the media.
I mean,
Or he could have just been obsessed that he was with a dinosaur face having wife.
I think we're a little bit too hard on old Wendy Williams, which is messed up. But what you're saying is not inaccurate. When you do look like, Skeletor, you know what I mean? I mean, it might not be that appealing for, Oh, you know what? I'm trying to think. I think I might be thinking about Paul Hunter. I don't know if Kevin Hunter, that's her husband. Maybe I'm thinking about a different guy. I don't know what this nigga ever did with his life. What I'm saying is that you're married.
Some hunter ass nigga.
Some hunter nigga. Who cares what
he
he
was
did?
hunting for that box. That's what he was hunting.
He was
for.
out there. Yeah, Kevin was hunting, and he was definitely done hunting Wendy's. He probably didn't even go get the 4 for $4 special. He was like, I'm not even eating that, man. Nah, pull up at that Mickey D's over there. I'm sick of these Wendy's.
Oh shit!
I'm just saying, like, back to the lust thing. In general, everybody, I think that might be everybody's first and maybe your most major addiction throughout your life. But unless you are able to be aware or to recognize it, it's going to control you. Even if you're married to, if I'm married to Wendy Williams, I'm not going to cheat because I'm not going to mess up, my bag. We live in high on the hog. We chilling. We hitting, Greece and Italy and France and all kinds of stuff. I'm chilling.
So what if you was married to Wendy Williams? She got the bag.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm in.
She got the bag, right?
Yeah.
But like we was talking about in the first episode, she's too focused on her job, sticking her nose in other people's business.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear?
Right. And you just want that good sloppy mouth one night or many nights. And she just neglects to give it to you. But you shooting videos or whatever the fuck you do. And you got motherfucking hoes on your side like, yo.
Even if you don't even do music videos, you're just at the crib and you're just walking around, going to check the mail, and you're like, oh.
And in some let me see.
That rare time when the UPS delivery is actually some kind of attractive lady walking up with the package. You're like, oh, hey. She
Right.
sees your nice-ass house and all that.
So what do you do then?
Well, I'm Kevin Hunter. I'm at home. The UPS lady is attractive. She got a big booty. And I know that, old Wendy is at least on a 6.5 hour shoot. You know what I'm saying? It's like a 3.5 hour job to get that makeup right. So I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like I got time to cheat, skeet. So I mean, I'm not saying I would do it all day long or to get caught like this idiot did, but the proof's in the pudding. And I'll just say, if anything, maybe he has a problem, obviously, with lust, and then she had her own drug issue, and her career.
That's another factor. That's another thing.
Yeah.
That obviously, if she has most likely 9 times out of 10, if she has a big problem with drugs like that, he does too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when them drugs get in your mind, you start becoming weak to a lot of other things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Because you're not thinking clearly. You know, you know.
You're doing any and everything to
Right.
to increase and try to chase down that high.
Right. And it's like, all right, so when you're doing something, anything, we're just specifically talking about drugs.
Right.
But let's just say anything. When you're doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lack of self-control, right?
Right.
So if you got a lack of self-control in one area, 9 times out of 10 is going to leak over into other areas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, I'm not. You start to believe that if you're not strong enough to withhold from this, you're not strong enough to withhold from another thing, and then it starts becoming a spiral, you know. And that's why either two things can happen. You could either spiral out of control, or you can get called out, exposed, and you can fix the situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, okay, I'm with you on that. I agree with everything you said. So, it's just another case of, in my opinion, if you're not really taking care of home, and you add drug addictions on top of that, I'm no longer really blaming. There's nobody really completely just simply at fault. Yeah, you might be wrong to be cheating, but we had our whole ecosystem was thrown off from our own obsessions. So I hope they can find a way to reconcile and, maintain their family unit.
I seen a picture on Instagram. They was all cuddled up. I think he was throwing up the middle finger and shit behind her, hugging her, some shit like that.
Oh, well, he's mature. Does that mean fuck you to us?
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
I can cheat. This bitch can still take me back. Fuck y'all. All right, my nigga. Yeah. Because ain't nobody calling you to direct nothing nowadays, so you better stay with her. So.
damn.
I'm just saying, Lil Yachty ain't never heard no Kevin Hunter. That's fucked up.
Nah, it's not. It's actually accurate.
Oh, let me keep saying stuff till it's fucked up. No, yeah, okay. So, Wendy Williams, she disclosed her drug habit, yada, yada. Now, real quick, tired of talking about Jussie, but Queen Latifah did just defend him in some clip I saw from some Yahoo series, whatever. Some woman was interviewing her. That's her name, some woman.
Mm.
And
Is she Asian?
no, but she was
Some woman?
some kind of Anian, something. But she said, she brought up Jussie Smollett, and Queen Latifah said, basically, I'm not going to read exactly what she said, that since she's interacted with him and knows him to be a good, caring, nice guy, that she's just going to, since he's still saying he's innocent and it did happen, she's going to go with him until there's definitive proof. But then I guess I just go with, isn't the two Nigerians who were caught on film buying nooses and bleach, isn't that definitive enough proof to go, yeah, I think my homie's probably lying? Or just go, I can't comment.
See, I mean, and that kind of goes back to, like, is he a pawn in this whole situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows, man? Right. All I know is that Gay Tupac shit was kind of weird. Check out the Gay Tupac album skit. It's on Cap City Podcast right now. Real Cap City on SoundCloud. You know what I mean? Check us out, man. We out here making people.
Yeah, your man Jussie Wildin'. All right, so boom, we're off of that for now. So then we talked about lust, trials, and tribulations. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that for a little bit.
Okay.
So, as far as in my life, trials and tribulations, they're always around, right? And, we talking about lust and the media. I think a lot of us are affected by things that initially were probably outside of our control. But then awareness, R. Kelly, his circle of people, Michael Jackson, his circle of people, all these people had a circle, this carnival or circus around them of people handling their business for them.
Right.
I don't know what do you add to that to kind of, okay, you're a millionaire. Does that mean I should allow you to do crazy shit, hurt people because I want money?
Yeah, man. That comes down to the individual's integrity, man. Um, just put yourself in their shoes and ask the question again. If you was around Michael Jackson and he was paying you well to be around, and you seen him doing some fuck shit like that, what would you do?
I would have to tell somebody because I value myself and my values, my beliefs over I'm not going to get money with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it wouldn't even be about me or my values. It'd be about this person that I see that you're hurting or influencing negatively. And because you're so rich and wealthy or famous, that's not right to just let you get away with it.
That's a fact. 100% agree with that. It's like I said, it's all on the person's integrity, man. I know, just from the small glimpse of industry experience, man, there's not a lot of real ones out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can actually see people being around you and letting shit go down because it's so fake out here. You know what I'm saying? And so much cap, so much fake nigga shit.
In everyday life, before you even get to the rich nigga
right.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Even on this small scale,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, that we on. It's like, it's crazy, man. Like, I wouldn't put it past any of those people. All them people that came out in the Robert Kelly documentary, it's like, yo, you sat here and watched him with 15, 16, 13, 14-year-olds. So what you saying? And you ain't saying nothing till now?
Right. And
Why?
he actually was arrested after he got out on bail that some woman paid for him. They arrested R. Kelly again for unpaid child support.
When, the other day? Today?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's back in jail. I even saw, what's funny? Dame Dash. They came at him for unpaid child support just recently. I don't know if he got whatever money he had come in, but I know he was talking about how he purchased a controlling stake in Rachel Roy, his ex-wife's company. But she won't sign the papers, whatever. I guess they have some kind of beef. But they're using some kind of, I don't know what they're doing, but he was arrested or turned himself in for unpaid child support. It's weird timing is my problem. So R. Kelly unpaid child support just because of this stuff is coming up.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to not be sympathetic, man, or have empathy for the man, because just because of the fact that we already established, we know that there's a conspiracy against black icons. And when shit like this be happening back to back to back, you know that you're being targeted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying what he was doing or what wasn't not doing isn't true or false.
Right.
I'm saying that he definitely is being targeted.
Right. And I think it's easier to you pick out somebody who's doing creepy stuff and okay, cool. But if this person's a bona fide creep, we don't need to now develop a whole new way or whole new rules. These rules already existed. And it's like, I almost look at it like, is it a Trojan horse? That's my thing. Are we using this to usher in a new way to snuff out other people? Because Tekashi snitches on all these people that were, giving him whatever his street credibility was. 21 Savage gets arrested by ICE. People find out he was born in the UK. I'm hearing a few mixed feelings about that, but in general, people are supporting him. I don't know, man. It's just like, what's cap and what isn't cap? Like, it's getting hard to track the cap.
Right. Well, we're here to dissect it and get you guys' thoughts on it. So when y'all finish listening to this podcast, leave your ideas in the comment, man. What y'all think, man? Is it cap that's going on with is R. Kelly capping or is the media capping? You know, is Jesse Smollett capping or is it a conspiracy against him?
Is there any coincidence between the NFL and the deal that was made between Colin, or is he calling Kaepernick for real? Was he playing you? Did you fall for it? Did he play on your heartstrings with this? I'm kneeling for the people, the young black kids getting shot down the streets. But then you get a deal with Nike. Cool. Nike rocks with the NFL. That's strange. Okay, cool. And then you get your NFL deal. Oh, you can't speak on it. Okay, that's weird. All right, whatever. Colin Kaepernick.
That kind of makes me feel like that's another target because he could have really had pure intentions with what he was doing before, and then here they come. Look, we're gonna offer you this, this, and this. All you got to do is fuck with us, and when you do fuck with us, it's gonna make you look so stupid. And we got the bag to make you feel stupid, and we don't care. We can give you millions. It's nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how evil the elite are. You know what I'm saying? And they got all the money, so it's nothing to pay you millions to make you look stupid.
Now, I'm with you on that, but let's still add this in. In order for somebody to be able to buy you, you have to be for sale.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's right at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's a fact. It is a thing. And it's something to consider. Because, I mean, I can't tell you that you're wrong for getting, whatever money they may have owed you for,
No,
not letting
right
you...
the first time.
Huh? Owned you? Well, yeah. I mean, really, if we're looking at it from a real perspective, and, it's strange, but these sports that black people are the majority of the folks on the field, the best at it, it's like it's the gladiator games. People are watching from the stands. They want to see concussions. They want to see pain. They want to see injuries. Like, look at my guy. He's crazy. He just injured that. They want to see that. Mm-hmm. And you're putting your bodies, your minds, everything on the line. And we can come back to this topic on the next one, but I'm going to do some research to find out how many of these brothers and whoever is playing in the NFL and other organizations that actually exit out intact mentally and still have high finances. You know what I mean?
You gotta be real smart.
And is there a culture of people around them? Do they promote financial literacy and playing the stock market and things like that? I mean, I highly doubt it. So, anyway, that's
I feel like you gotta be content for you to really succeed and get up out this motherfucker in this entertainment business, man. Because if you're not, you're gonna get caught up in needing to have more, needing to be at a certain status, and when you get to that point, you're liable to do anything for the status or the bag.
Right.
You got to know God. You got to know that no matter how much money or status you got, without that self-love and without that
Right.
knowledge of what really matters, you're a goner.
Yeah. You're a target. And that's the thing about it. I think that's what our whole point here on this episode is, if you're being controlled by something, one, you need to make yourself aware of that, and then you can come back into a better understanding of yourself and not identify with all of these things that they wave around in front of you to mean that, like what's that saying? It's not the clothes that makes the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the man that makes the clothes.
Right.
So it should be that. A lot of people, we want to get certain levels of money and society to feel synonymous with these celebrities and the rich and the famous and how they live, because that looks like such a better version. But I think that's just a grass is always greener scenario.
That's a fact. And that's exactly how the enemy or the evil ones, the elite, the ones in power, the ones who want to destroy, that's exactly the thought process they use to manipulate and control you.
Right. And it's funny too, just on that topic too, I was watching a clip from LeBron's show, The Shop,
Mm-hmm.
and it was him and Meek Mill and some other sports stars, and they were talking about basically, when you come into all this money, do you owe people around you anything?
Like who? Like
Like your family, anybody, whoever's in your circle of family and friends, and now you're this $20 million having person.
I feel like you most likely you're gonna feel like that, because think about if you made $20 million a day,
Right.
and the people close to you that you struggle with, you're gonna have a certain type of sympathy or empathy for them, because you know what it feels like to be broke with them.
Right.
And now you just came up, so it kind of make you feel a conviction, like, oh, I need to help them because I lucked up and got this bag. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I can understand that a little bit, but it's a certain, you got to draw a certain type of line in the sand, man, because people who supposedly love you will use that against you just to manipulate you to get what they want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't always help everybody, bro.
I mean, I even have here's a statement that Meek Mill said during that show about if you owe family members and stuff money because you got rich. He said, this is from Meek Mill, I don't owe nobody shit. Who you gonna please? I tell people, if you give your cousin 10,000, what you gonna give your aunt? You gonna give your aunt 20,000 because she babysitting? What you gonna give your grandma? It's never gonna stop.
Man, that was great. That sounded just like Meek Mill, bro.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what do you feel about what he said there?
That's exactly what I was just saying, man.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that's crazy. That's exactly what I was saying, man.
And then 2 Chainz interrupted him when he said that, right? He said, I tell you what. He said, I take care of my whole, then he paused. sometimes I don't even enjoy my day because of me feeling like I'm so responsible for everybody. I'm talking about uncles, aunts. So he feels kind of, you know,
He's feeling that conviction I was just talking about.
yeah. So everything you're saying between Meek and Two Chains is the whole point of view. But is that? I think there's still more to it because I'll say this: like, there are a few people that really were super down for you and invested in you in some little way, and maybe those people, you go like, I gotta rock with you on some level. Let me bring you into this. But you can't, even if you have $100 million in your bank account, you can't just say, I'm gonna pick 20 people who I know and give them $1 million. You can't do that because it's never gonna stop. So it'd be better to just go, I'll take some money and help you to start businesses up,
Right.
get you some courses. Hey, I need somebody to do this for me. Get the certification, and then, you'll do that job instead, and I'm gonna pay you, $50K a year,
Right.
as opposed to me just giving you $50K every other month when you're asking me because you keep spending it like it's $100.
It's like this. You can either, what's the saying, man? You can either feed people or teach them how to fish.
Yeah, you can.
What's the saying? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those things, man. Like, I'm not just gonna give you money, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's certain, like, I'm gonna give my mom some money because I don't want her to work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But motherfuckers, nah. I might help you start a business. I might give you a loan so you can start a business, and you can pay me that shit back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, I'm not just giving you nothing, man. Like, why? Why I gotta give you something? Why I gotta give you something just because I knew you before I got the bag? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or because we family. You know what I mean? Like, if I give it to you and you blow it, where you think you going when it's gone? You
Right.
coming right back to me for some more money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be like, okay, here, you trying to get paid? Let's open this McDonald's franchise real quick, and you could own that shit,
Right.
and
Right.
let's get that money. We'll co-own it together, and you can make that money. If you're not willing to work, I'm not giving you nothing.
Right. Because that's giving you something as opposed to empowering you to feel good about where that money came from, and then you're going to be a little bit more responsible with it when you see it, when you see the process of that money
Right.
being made.
Right.
So I mean, like you said, there's a few people in your life that you're like, look, you ain't got to do nothing. I got you.
Right.
But
My mom's, my sister, you know what I'm saying, my daughter, you know what I mean?
right.
That's about it, man, to be honest, man. Everybody else, like, I'll help you get to the bag, but I can't just give you some shit. Like,
Yeah, that's
you know what I
fairy tale
mean?
thinking. Like you think that way when your viewpoint is limited and you have no understanding of money. Like $1 million used to be, the thought of that was huge until you find out people that are making millions of dollars. A lot of them are spending like a couple $1 million just to upkeep their huge estates.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have $20 million, do you need to go buy a $5 million home that's going to take $100,000 to upkeep every year?
Right.
You're not going to have that money for long.
Shit gonna be gone. Especially if you ain't making it make more money.
Right. So really, at the end of the day,
if you hit the lotto or some shit and you like,
right,
and you just sitting on your ass spending the money, that shit gonna be gone.
right,
But if you getting residuals off of, if you get that money and you start a business and you getting money coming in, you can make it stretch for a lot longer.
right. So like you said, those
And-
people
and-
that you
and
want to
that's
help.
exactly come back to the point. If I gotta make this shit stretch,
Right.
why I'm gonna give you the money just for you to spend it?
Yeah.
I'm not spending the shit. I gotta make it stretch. So what the fuck? What the fuck I expect you to do? I'm not just gonna give you some shit so you can blow and just buy things and, you know what I'm saying? No, you gotta make it stretch just like I do. You know what I mean?
Right. And because really, I'm empowering you so that what if I do go overboard? What if I do start wilding? Well, now I got 8 or 9 people. We've got franchises and businesses started up
Mm-hmm.
so that actually it can be generational, wealth.
Generational wealth. I'm just gonna give you some money so you can just do whatever. Lord knows what you're gonna do. There's a lot of people I know for sure, man. If I was to give them $1 million, man,
Gone in a heartbeat.
you'll see them pulling up with all kinds of crazy new cars and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Jewelry and all kinds of crazy stupid shit that
Before
it's
buying a
not-
house.
Yeah, it's not even building wealth for their kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just want to flash and cap.
Yeah.
So I'm not with that. No, I'm good.
So I think that was a good topic to bring up because everybody wants that bag, everybody wants to get that money, but you have to be realistic. These people are these basketball stars that are making $110,000 over a 4 or 5 year contract. You can't just give up money all day long. Neither can the rappers. Nobody can. So it is what it is. That's pretty cool. Good topic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot going on, but nothing's really that good. It's happening.
All right, y'all. Well, shit, man. That's episode 3, man. Cap City Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Leave some comments, man. Let us know, any topics y'all think we should talk about. Subscribe to our Patreon. We ain't get it started yet, but it should be in a link in the bio by the time y'all listen to this.
Right.
And just support us, man. Help us, keep this going, man. We like talking about, things that go on, man, that can actually, that a lot of people don't talk about, man. And we want to bring it to you raw, uncut, you know what I'm saying, no cap.
You know what
You know what I'm saying? And
that straight Wendy Williams Coke.
you know what I'm saying?
Pure.
You know what I'm saying?
Puro.
Yeah, don't forget to like, man. Hit the like button. Share this. Subscribe,
comment,
man.
subscribe.
Please. We out here, man. Cap City J Bizzle.
Boop, boop. Cap City selling his bitch.
All right, we out.
Peace.
Come on.